Good afternoon. This is the Committee on Water and Land on its agenda item for Thursday, March 21st at 1:15 p.m. We have one House bill on the agenda today. We are closing up today, getting ready for the end result of the week. However, welcome everyone and those on Zoom land. Just a reminder, for those testifying, please, you have stand on your written testimony or you have 1 minute but this also does not apply to our testifiers who have initiated the agenda item because we want some good discussions. Anyway, the content of this hearing can be found on the legislature's website, and the live video stream and archive of this hearing is on the Senate's YouTube channel. Decision-making will follow today. Members, let's proceed to HB 1925, House Draft 2, and this is relating to the Hawaii State Planning Act. Okay. OPSD. Aloha.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members. I'm Mary Alice Evans, the Interim Director with the Office of Planning and Sustainable Development, and I'm very grateful to the committee for considering this bill today. We've known for quite a while that the state plan has some areas that need to be updated. I also feel passionately that there are people who need to be involved in thinking about how our state is going to manage the trade-offs, challenges, and differences that have emerged since this plan was developed and adopted. Now, this plan still in Chapter 226 has a lot of good stuff in it, and I'm one who believes that a lot of the themes that are there still are relevant, but how they apply to today's world is different than how they applied in the 70s. So, and a lot of people, are here today weren't part of that development of that plan. So I'm hoping that you will be willing to consider it. Thank you.
Okay, you can stay. We'll ask questions at this time. Or
Thanks.
yes, I'm glad you did say that. And oftentimes, since I've been here, we have had bills just encouraging us to look at a particular, from not the entire state plan, but the other parts of the 12 plans that are there as well. And piecemeal, sometimes we just look at 1 or 2 or 3. But I'm very happy that the agency and with your leadership can look at the overall picture. As you did say, this, we need to update and see which areas that should be updated first, which would be most important at this point in time, such as water,
Yes.
and agriculture, where we are, because it's catching up on us. And to be prepared, I think, is the best thing that the agency can do. And immediately, hopefully, that you have the resources that go with this as well. But thank you again. Thank you for the leadership. And just as a reminder, I was a member of the Hawaii State Plan Policy Council that created all the functional plans. So I'm happy to see this at least take a wholesome view of the entire picture. Needs update, and you're the perfect agency to do that. University of Hawaii, Carl Bonham. Oh, IT, is Mr. Bonham on Zoom? Aloha. I see you there. All right, Carl.
Hi, Senator. It's actually Colin Moore. I'm testifying for you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Today.
Sure.
But as you know, this includes a representative from UHERO on the task force. And the only thing we wanted to add is that UHERO is very grateful to be considered for this role, but rather than name us directly to the task force, we think UHERO might be more helpful serving in our usual consultative role. This would allow us to answer specific questions from the task force and direct members to the most appropriate data resources or economics and policy research. Thanks for the opportunity to provide input.
That's a great help, because I think when we started working on the functional plans back then at the Policy Council, which I was a member, I don't think we did too much of the economic side, but it's just about time, and we appreciate the partnerships that you'll be able to support and assist with keeping up with all the events as we are today and the future going forward. Thank you so much. Okay. Department of Agriculture sends communication in support. Office of Hawaiian Affairs, I understand IT. Oh, okay, not on Zoom. You're here in person. Mahalo.
Aloha Chair,
Brad.
Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is Kayla E. Nixon. I am from the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. We do support the legislation. We are asking for some amendments to include the chairperson of the Board of Trustees into this task force. We do understand that the legislation does call for stakeholders that are Native Hawaiians, but this is on an invitee basis. We feel that as the principal state agency for the betterment of the condition of Native Hawaiians, that OHA should be involved in the task force. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Mahalo as well. Okay. Holomua Collaborative. Joshua, mahalo. Thank you for being patient with us.
Oh, not at all. Thank you so much for hearing the bill, Chair. We really appreciate it. Basically, just for context for everyone who's watching, what this is all about is that the Hawaii State Plan's been in place for almost 50 years. The last full update was about 40 years ago. So I don't think even the internet was really in wide use at the time. So in 2018, there was a recognition that an update would be in order, which is when the Office of Planning did the phase 1. And at that time, they specifically envisioned that a phase 2 would make sense. And going on what the director was saying before, the phase 1 was really mostly just government. And I share the
Right.
director's passion for phase 2 being a chance to bring in more people and give a real cross-sector chance, bringing in people from for-profit, nonprofit, labor members of the community, to really take a look at this and see both where things could be expanded, where things could be simplified, and to make sure that we're addressing modern concerns. So we think this is an opportune time to do the phase 2 since it was suggested about 6 years ago. Thank you so much for hearing the bill and giving us a chance to move forward. I'm here for any questions that you might have.
And we're happy too with Uhira's involvement.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As well. Okay. Hawaii Farm Bureau sends communication in support. Holomua Collaborative in support, and Jacqueline Ambrose. Members, any questions? Hearing none, is there anyone else wishes to speak to HB 1925? Okay. Hearing none, we'll proceed then with the vote on this great bill before us. I think we decided to add the Okaria. You guys don't have no objections? Adding Oka?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Yeah,
to do.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, let's proceed then, members. Chair's recommendation on HB 1925 House Draft 2 relating to the Hawaii State Planning Act. Chair's recommendation is to pass with the amendments. We'd like to add the chairperson of the Board of Trustees of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs or the designee to the task force as well. And I think it already has a defective date. So any discussions? Hearing none, Vice Chair for the vote. Chair goes aye.
Chair's recommendations to pass with amendments HB 1925, House Draft 2. Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator McKelvey.
Yes.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Madam Chair, recommendations adopted.
Great, our last bill for this committee, members, for the timeline. However, we have not scheduled yet resolutions. So,
That's it, we're good.
Yep, you're done.
so we're done, and thank you so much. Okay,
Make sure you
this
check the
concludes
resolutions,
the Committee on Water and Land.